Please, we've heard you talk about a lot of programs and policies, but we find ourselves under a very watertight IMF policy. Under a John Jane administration, would you ask for a review of the IMF program with us?
We will not cancel the IMF policy. It is a policy that our government has signed on to, and they signed on behalf of government of Ghana. Indeed, when the crisis was reaching epic proportions, we actually asked them to go to the IMF for support, because this economy was going to crash, and it would have crashed with severe consequences. And you remember, we will not go to the IMF. We will not go to the IMF today, tomorrow, or as long as we remain in power. We will not go to the IMF. We will not go to the IMF. Eventually, we told them that if you don't go to the IMF walking, you will go in an ambulance. And they ended up there in an ambulance. And so the conditionalities are more stringent than if we had gone earlier. And so, yes, we've landed in the IMF. We will work with the IMF. There are opportunities in the agreement for tweaking the agreement in some ways, not cancelling it. And so, as a new government that comes, we immediately have to sit with the IMF, look at the conditionalities that we're giving, and see how we can tweak them to suit our present circumstances. Things are clearer now, because at the time they signed the IMF agreement, the debt restructuring had not been concluded. Today, it has been concluded, even with the international bondholders. And so we have a more predictable trajectory about how our loans are going to have to be repaid. Even this year, we're supposed to pay $400 and something million of the debt. I don't know where government is going to get that money. We probably will use some of the money the IMF themselves are giving us to pay for it. And that will create problems for the cedi, because we don't have the kind of injection of foreign currency that we should have.